What if I told you the pain you're feeling right now isn't heartbreak, it's transformation? What if I told you that the silence she left you with is the exact silence you need to become a man she'll never understand again? This isn't about winning her back. This is about becoming someone so grounded, so composed, that nothing she does can move you again. Right now you feel cold, empty, like your chest got ripped open and everything you gave got thrown away. You're looking for answers, trying to figure out what went wrong. But that's not what Stoics do. That's not what powerful men do. We don't look back. We turn pain into power. This is your story. A man, broken by love, who becomes untouchable by rising through discipline, silence, and control. You don't need closure. You don't need her apology. You need to remember who the hell you are. And you will. In this video, we're diving deep into the mind, where Stoicism meets dark psychology, where detachment becomes attraction, where silence becomes dominance, and where your heartbreak becomes the crucible that forges your next level. Stay locked in. Every section is a piece of your rebirth, and by the end, you won't just feel stronger, you'll be unrecognizable. If you're done drowning in memories, if you're ready to rise from this pain like a weapon, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I rise through silence. Now, let's begin. Number 1, pain is the doorway. You're not weak for feeling pain. You're not soft for missing her. That ache in your chest, that's proof that you were real, that your love had weight, that your loyalty meant something. But here's the truth most men never face. Pain isn't here to break you. It's here to build you. Pain is a mirror, and most men are too afraid to look. Right now, your mind's looping. You're playing back the last conversation, the last text, the last look she gave you before it all cracked. You're searching for the moment it went wrong. But Stoics don't chase ghosts. We chase truth. And here's the truth. This pain is the best thing that's ever happened to you, if you use it. This is your initiation. Every powerful man was forged in fire. Not comfort, not validation, but in complete emotional destruction. Pain is pressure, and pressure reveals character. So here's your moment. Do you let it turn you bitter, or do you let it turn you disciplined? Do you reach for her again, or do you reach into yourself and find what she never could? Most men try to skip this part. They jump into another woman's arms. They go on a healing trip. They pretend they're fine. But pretending is delay. The man who feels pain fully, without distraction, without running, is the man who becomes dangerous, because nothing scares him anymore. So sit with it. Don't numb it. Don't tweet about it. Don't tell the world you're on your healing journey. Just go silent. Let the pain speak. Let it teach you who you became when you were trying to be loved. Let it expose how much of yourself you gave without checking if it was being valued, and then cut that version of you off. From this moment on, you don't beg, you don't chase, you don't explain. You use every ounce of pain as fuel. You hit the gym, not to look good for her, but to rebuild your relationship with power. You read, not to impress, but to sharpen your mind like a blade. You go ghost, not to make her miss you, but because you're too focused on becoming a man she'll never get access to again. This isn't revenge. This is resurrection. Number 2, emotion is a weapon. Master yours first. She hurt you. She walked away like it was nothing. And now your heart's thrashing. Rage, sadness, confusion, shame, like a storm inside your chest. But here's what most men don't realize. If you can't master your emotions, someone else always will. Your emotions are weapons. And right now, you're bleeding all over yourself because you never learned how to wield them. The guy who snaps, who cries on the phone, who texts her paragraphs begging for closure. That guy isn't dangerous. He's predictable. He's easy to control. And the second she knows she can pull strings and get a reaction, she owns you. Stoicism isn't about not feeling. It's about not letting those feelings dictate your next move. Control is quiet. Power is composed. She expected you to break. She expected you to lose it. Maybe she even wanted to see it, to confirm she still had that grip on you. But here's how you flip the game. Don't give her what she's expecting. Don't yell. Don't explain. Don't try to prove your worth. Just go silent. Let her hear the absence. Let her sit with the weight of not knowing what you're thinking. In dark psychology, the most feared person in the room is the one who shows no tells. Poker face, calm voice, detached presence. That's the energy that unnerves people. You want her to question what you're feeling. Then stop showing her anything at all. Pull it inward, lock it down, channel it into action. Mastery isn't about bottling things up. It's about redirecting energy with purpose. Take the chaos and build with it. Every rep in the gym, every page you read, every dollar you earn, that's emotional alchemy. That's power no one can see coming. Because when you can walk away from what once shattered you, without flinching, without reacting, you become the storm. And she'll feel it. Not in words, not in messages, but in silence so loud it echoes in her head. Number 3, she took something. Nope, she revealed something. It feels like she took something from you, right? Your peace, your trust, your time, maybe even your sense of identity. But let's get one thing clear. She didn't take anything. She revealed everything. She exposed the cracks in your foundation. She showed you where you were weak, where you were too available, where you gave too much without demanding value back. You think she betrayed you? Maybe. But what if betrayal is just unfiltered truth? What if her walking away is the greatest clarity you'll ever get? That she was never built to match your loyalty? That she saw your potential but wasn't woman enough to rise with it? You didn't lose. You got information. Brutal, raw, painful truth. And that's priceless. Now you see who you gave your time to. Now you see what parts of yourself you outsourced. Your happiness, your confidence, your purpose. And now you've got 2 options. Break down or break through. This is the shift that separates the average man from the evolved man. Most will take this heartbreak and let it make them bitter. They'll generalize. Say, all women are the same. They'll close up and carry that wound for years. But the Stoic man, he turns it into clarity. He stops asking, why did she do this to me? And starts asking, why did I allow it? That's where real power begins. Because once you stop seeing her as the thief and start seeing her as the mirror, everything changes. She showed you exactly what needs to change, exactly what boundaries you didn't set, exactly what values you compromised. That's the blueprint. So no, she didn't take anything. She just ripped the mask off. She revealed your blind spots. And once you fix those, you become the version of yourself she never deserved and can never reach again. Number 4, the law of detachment. Starve her of reaction. She's watching you, even if she blocked you, even if she moved on, even if she says she doesn't care. She's watching to see one thing, your reaction. Does it still bother you? Can she still shake you? Are you spiraling without her? But the second you detach, the second you starve her of your energy, the dynamic flips. Detachment isn't indifference, it's discipline. It's the ability to withhold your presence, your attention, your validation, because you no longer give it to people who haven't earned it. That's how power shifts. You don't need to scream, post quotes, or play emotional chess. You just stop reacting. Understand this. Every time you reply out of emotion, she wins. Every time you check her stories, she wins. Every time you leave the door cracked open, she knows she can walk back in whenever she feels like it. But when you go still, when your energy disappears entirely, she starts to feel the loss. Because it's not about what you said, it's about what you stopped saying. In dark psychology, withholding is control. What you starve begins to crave you, and what you ignore begins to chase. It's the paradox. The more present you are, the more you lower your value. The more distant you become, the more mysterious and magnetic you get. You want her to regret leaving. Then stop trying to show her what she lost. Let her feel it. Let her feel the absence of your attention, your loyalty, your fire. That silence will be louder than any text you could send. So the next time you're tempted to reach out, to react, to prove your worth. Don't. The most attractive man in the room is the one who doesn't need to prove anything. Detachment is control. Detachment is power. Detachment is the move. Number 5. Show nothing, build everything. She expects you to fall apart. She thinks you're stuck in your room, scrolling through old messages, replaying the past, hoping she'll come back. That's the image in her mind. Broken, confused, still orbiting her. And that's exactly why you show nothing. No posts, no pity, no emotional leaks. You vanish from her radar, and while she's busy assuming you're shattered, you're building. This is your rebuild phase, but it's not loud. No announcements, no new chapter captions. You don't need to prove to the world that you're leveling up. You just do it, quietly, ruthlessly, while no one's watching. That's where real growth happens, in the shadows. Every man gets hit, but not every man evolves. The ones who do, they don't broadcast. They just reappear unrecognizable, stronger, sharper, colder, not out of spite, but out of discipline. Your grind becomes sacred. Your silence becomes strategy. Go ghost. Get obsessed. Fix your body, your finances, your mindset. Read every day. Lift heavier. Learn skills. Stack wins. While she's out chasing attention, you're chasing legacy. Let her wonder where you went. Let her scroll, hoping to see a glimpse of the man she thought she knew, only to realize he doesn't exist anymore. You don't heal by showing off. You heal by building something so powerful that your past becomes irrelevant. You don't want her to miss you. You want her to realize she never even knew you. The man she left was a draft. The man you're becoming, he's final form. Number 6. Indifference is seduction. You want her to regret losing you? Don't chase. Don't react. Don't even care. Because nothing haunts the human mind like indifference. When someone expects drama and gets silence instead, it creates a vacuum. And that vacuum pulls harder than any apology or argument ever could. Indifference isn't coldness, it's clarity. You're not acting like you don't care, you actually don't. Because you've finally realized your worth doesn't depend on her recognition of it. When you stop trying to be seen and instead become unfazed by being invisible, you unlock a level of confidence most men will never touch. Think about it. What's more attractive? A man who's desperate for validation, or a man who's so grounded in himself he doesn't need to convince anyone of anything? That's Stoic seduction. You don't pursue, you pull, without lifting a finger, because when she feels your detachment, she starts questioning everything. Did she misjudge you? Was leaving a mistake? Why aren't you reacting? Why does your energy feel gone? These questions swirl in her head because you've broken the pattern. You're no longer giving her the satisfaction of emotional control. You're no longer playing the role of the wounded lover. You're the man who walked away and never looked back. That's power. That's mystery. That's attraction on a level she can't manipulate. You don't win her back by trying. You win by becoming someone she no longer knows how to reach. And in that silence, in that stillness, she begins to feel the weight of what she threw away. Number 7. Control the frame, control the game. Reality isn't what happens, it's how you frame it. That breakup, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. That silence, it wasn't abandonment, it was space to level up. In any situation, the man who controls the frame controls the game. And right now, your frame determines whether you rise or stay broken. She might have left thinking you'd crumble. That's her frame. She probably thinks she's in control, calling the shots, setting the narrative. But here's what Stoicism and dark psychology teach you. Power belongs to the one who decides what the moment means. Not what it looks like, not what people say, what it means. And you get to choose that. If you frame this as a loss, you stay in victim mode. You cling to the past, waiting for closure that'll never come. But if you frame this as liberation, as a clean break from an illusion you outgrew, then you step into the role of the architect, the man who builds his own story on his own terms. The frame you project is the frame others adopt. If you act broken, people treat you like you need fixing. If you act solid, calm, focused, unfazed, people assume you're thriving, and she will too. That's when curiosity creeps in. That's when the emotional leverage shifts. Let her see a man who's not scrambling for answers but owning his narrative. You didn't lose a woman. You shed a version of yourself that no longer served you. And the man you are now, he doesn't explain. He doesn't justify. He reframes and moves forward. You're not a victim. You're the editor of your life. Control the frame, and you control everything that follows. Number 8. Become the prize, not the seeker. She was never the prize. You just forgot you were. You made her the center. You put her on the pedestal. You rearranged your life trying to keep her, trying to please her, trying to hold together something that was already cracking. That ends now. From this moment on, you stop chasing and start becoming. Powerful men don't seek. They attract. They don't beg to be chosen. They choose. The moment you shift your mindset from "I need her" to "I need to build me," the whole dynamic flips. She went from being the prize to watching you become one. You want to make her notice? You don't do it by reaching out. You don't do it by flexing on social media. You do it by becoming unavailable, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Not out of spite, but because your focus is too valuable to waste on someone who walked away. Every second you spend chasing her is a second you're not building yourself. Flip the script. She's not the loss. You were the opportunity. You were the safe place, the stable one, the solid foundation. She didn't walk away from love. She walked away from a man becoming his own empire. And now, while she's out searching for attention, you're crafting purpose. While she's stuck in distractions, you're stacking discipline. That's how a man becomes the prize. Not by what he flaunts, but by what he withholds. Presence, energy, access. When those become rare, you become rare. You don't win by convincing her. You win by outgrowing the version of you that ever thought you had to. Number 9. Her regret is none of your business. You keep wondering, will she regret it? Will she realize what she lost? Will she come back, even just to apologize? But here's the brutal truth. Her regret doesn't matter. It's none of your business. Because the second you base your healing on her reaction, you're still chained to her. You don't need her regret. You don't need her closure. You need freedom. You need detachment so deep that even if she begged to come back, you'd barely blink. That's not cold. That's clarity. Because once you reach that level of peace, nothing she says or doesn't say can move you. Most men waste months, even years, waiting for a moment that might never come. Waiting to hear, "You were right. I miss you. You were the best thing I had." But real power isn't hearing those words. Real power is not needing to, because you've already closed the chapter in your own mind. Think about it. What does her regret even change? Would it undo the disrespect, the silence, the way she moved on like you were nothing? Her regret, if it ever happens, will be a delayed echo, but by the time it hits, you'll be so far ahead, so deep in your evolution, it won't even register. You don't rebuild to make her miss you. You rebuild so that missing her becomes impossible, because you've leveled up into a version of yourself that she never had the capacity to keep. And that version? He doesn't care who regrets him. He doesn't look back. So let her feel what she feels, on her own time. You've got no interest in waiting around for emotions that don't serve your growth. Her regret is irrelevant. Your peace is the only goal. Number 10. The Stoic Code. Unshakable, unreachable. This is the final form. The evolution. The moment you stop playing by emotions and start living by code. You're not cold. You're composed. You're not unreachable because you're numb. You're unreachable because you've already decided nothing external will control your internal state again. That's the Stoic Code. That's the foundation of real, lasting power. She left? Okay. You didn't react. She tested your silence. Still unmoved. She tried to provoke a response? Nope. Because now you don't flinch. You don't chase. You don't entertain what isn't aligned with your mission. You've stopped living on emotional autopilot. You've stopped letting temporary feelings guide permanent decisions. This is what makes you different now. You're not just acting stoic to get her attention. You've become it, fully, grounded, calm. You know who you are. You've seen the chaos, walked through the fire, and came out sharpened, not shattered. People can't figure you out anymore, and that's the point. You've stopped broadcasting pain. You've stopped announcing progress. You've stopped reacting altogether, because when your identity is built from the inside out, the world loses its grip on you. You don't need revenge. You don't need explanations. You don't need anyone to understand your journey. You're not playing the game anymore. You've left the board entirely. And now, she'll never have access to this version of you again. That's what it means to be truly stoic, unshakable, unreachable, and absolutely untouchable. This wasn't just a video. This was a blueprint, a psychological rebirth, from pain to power, from chaos to control, from being the one left behind to becoming the one they can't reach anymore. You didn't just watch this, you survived it, and that's something most never do. Now you walk different. You think different. You've stopped reacting and started ruling. She doesn't define your value. The past doesn't hold your future. You've burned the old version of yourself to the ground, and from the ashes, you've built something untouchable. And remember, this isn't about her anymore. This is about you becoming so locked in, so disciplined, so whole that no loss can shake you, no setback can break you, and no silence can scare you. You are the calm in your own storm, the eye of your own hurricane. So from now on, don't just survive heartbreak, weaponize it. Carry yourself like a man who doesn't chase, doesn't fold, doesn't explain. A man who commands the room by walking in silent, steady, and unbothered. If this hit you in your core, if this woke up something inside you, hit that like button. Subscribe to Stoic Blessing, turn on notifications, and comment below. I don't chase, I choose. Your story isn't over. It just got interesting.